Most men are optimizing for the wrong thing in the bedroom, and I don't mean that as a judgment, I mean it as a fact backed by peer-reviewed research. The positions that dominate online content, the moves that look the most impressive, a lot of women secretly dislike them, and the positions that actually work, the ones that show up consistently across large clinical surveys, they look almost boring on paper. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what the research says. The top 5 positions women genuinely prefer, 2 commonly recommended ones that often backfire, and the single physiological principle that explains all of it. By the end of this video, you won't need to guess. You'll understand the why, which means you can adapt to any moment with any partner. Let's get into it. I want to be upfront about where this comes from. This isn't opinion. This isn't locker room talk. This is drawn from large, peer-reviewed studies and clinical work with real patients. The data is consistent across multiple research populations, and once you understand the underlying mechanism, everything clicks. So before we get to the list, I need to give you the one piece of physiology that makes this all make sense. Here's what the research actually shows. For the majority of women, pleasure depends on 2 things happening at the same time. Number 1, comfortable, consistent blood flow to the tissue. Number 2, reliable external stimulation while internal movement is happening. Studies consistently show that only a minority of women reach climax from internal stimulation alone. Most either need or strongly prefer simultaneous external contact. And here's the key takeaway. Women who receive external stimulation during intercourse report significantly higher satisfaction rates. This isn't a niche preference, this is the majority experience. So with that in mind, here's the principle that should guide every position choice. The best positions are the ones that make external contact easy, natural, and consistent, while allowing comfortable internal movement. That's it. That's the framework. Now let's rank the positions through that lens. Number 5 is spooning, what most people call side by side. I know, this one doesn't look exciting on a list, but it consistently outperforms positions that look more dynamic. And here's the physiology behind why. When both partners are lying on their sides, the pelvises are parallel. That creates a gentle, gliding angle inside, not abrupt, not too deep. It also makes it effortless to place a hand at the front for external contact, face-to-neck access for kissing, no knee strain, no hip flexion stress. The move that works here isn't big in and out strokes. It's short, rhythmic rocking, keeping the base of the pelvis in continuous contact with the front of the body. A small pillow or folded towel between the knees aligns the hips and makes everything feel more natural. Number 4 is seated, face to face. One partner sits on the edge of a bed or a firm chair. The other straddles them, facing forward. What makes this position special? Both partners have hands completely free. Eye contact is natural. Chest-to-chest contact helps the nervous system relax, and a relaxed body feels more. The receiving partner controls the depth and angle. The seated partner stays relatively still. The key is to think, roll, and press, not pull and push. Keep the base of your pelvis in full contact so front of pelvis pressure stays continuous. This is a high connection, high control position, and the research reflects that. Number 3 is face-to-face, partner above. Critics call this basic. They're wrong. When done correctly, this position offers something very few others do: precise angle control combined with easy access for external stimulation. A small pillow under the receiving partner's hips tilts the pelvis so the internal surface aligns with the front of the body. Then, instead of big, withdrawing strokes, you keep your pelvis pressed forward, maintaining continuous pressure. The combination of a comfortable internal angle plus simultaneous front of pelvis contact is, according to clinical data, one of the most reliable routes to intense pleasure for many women. Shorten your range of motion and add a subtle forward press at the bottom of each movement. Sensation should never drop out. Number 2 is woman on top, face to face. This one ranks second across multiple large surveys, and the reason is one word: control. She sets the angle, she sets the depth, she sets the rhythm, and she can micro-adjust at any point without breaking connection. This matters because research shows women routinely describe making small hip adjustments during sex to find the right internal contact point and maintain front of pelvis sensation. Woman on top makes those adjustments effortless. Hands are free. A slight forward lean keeps continuous pressure at the front. What actually works here is circles and rocking, not big up and down strokes. If her knees get tired, she can shift to a supported squat or bring one knee forward. Number 1 is rear entry, but with a critical adjustment. This is the top-ranked position in multiple studies, but it comes with an important asterisk. Done thoughtlessly, rear entry gets mixed reviews. Too deep, too fast, feels impersonal, but done intentionally, with angle adjustment and external contact. It becomes a top-tier experience for many couples. Here's the adjustment that changes everything. If she narrows her knees slightly and tilts her hips forward, the internal surface being contacted shifts. Then, and this is crucial, adding a hand or a device at the front restores the external sensation that makes this position feel good rather than just intense. Slower, rolling movement instead of hard thrusting. A pillow under the hips to fine-tune the angle. Think glide, not jab. That adjustment alone moves this from a position many women merely tolerate to one they genuinely love. Now let's talk about 2 positions that look great, but often disappoint in practice. The first is standing shower sex. I get it. This looks cinematic, but the real-life physics don't cooperate. Slippery footing reduces control. Water washes away natural lubrication. The angle is rarely comfortable, and maintaining consistent external contact nearly impossible. The fix: move out of direct water, use a stable surface, or switch to a seated version. You keep the setting. You restore the sensation. The second is the hyperflexion position, knees by the ears. For some women, extreme hip flexion feels exposing or causes genuine hip and lower back discomfort. The internal angle can become too direct, too quickly. The fix: tuck a pillow under the tailbone to reduce how much hip flexion is required. Shorten the range of motion. Add a hand at the front. You keep the closeness. You lose the strain. Here's the principle I want you to take away from all of this, because it applies to every position, not just these 7. Front of pelvis contact first, depth and speed second. Most people do this backwards. They optimize for what looks intense, big movements, deep penetration, while external sensation disappears. The research is consistent. When sensation at the front drops out, the moment drops out. A few practical tools to keep sensation steady. Breathe together at the start. Synchronized breathing calms the nervous system. Relaxed bodies feel more. Shorten the range of motion. Smaller, deliberate movement keeps pressure continuous. Bigger strokes often reset sensation rather than build it. Rock and press, don't yank and retreat. Use pillows, under the hips, between the knees. These aren't admissions of defeat. They're precision tools that change the internal angle without adding force. Keep one hand at the front, yours, hers, or a device. This is the single most common difference between almost there and there. Here's the honest truth about what this research shows. Women don't love a specific position. They love the position that lets them, or you, tune the angle, maintain steady external contact, and move in a way that sustains sensation rather than interrupting it. Positions are just frameworks. The real skill is learning to read small signals and adjust within the framework you're already in. Hips a little higher, movement a little shorter, hand a little steadier. That's what turns a good night into a genuinely memorable one. If this was useful, hit subscribe. I put out evidence-based content like this every week, and none of it is stuff you're going to hear from most sources. Drop a comment below. Which adjustment surprised you most? I actually read them. And if you want to go deeper, I've linked a follow-up video in the cards above on communication techniques that make all of this work even better. See you in the next one.